The rollover starts with the lower abdominals drawing the lower part of your spine and the tailbone off the mat. So pick both knees off the floor. Try not to think about just the legs lifting, but curling that tailbone and the lower part of your spine off the floor. On the way down, you're using the lower abdominals to place the lower spine and the tailbone back down on the floor with control. A lot of control is required for the rollover. So you exhale, use the lower abdominals to draw the tailbone. The legs will come along for the ride. But on the way down, there's also a lot of work in the lower abdominals. Level 2, we start to add the long legs. So it's the same as level 1. You use your lower abs to draw the tailbone off, then extend the legs without the tailbone coming back down onto the floor. So you exhale and then straighten the legs up to the sky, and with control, lower the pelvis and the tailbone back down onto the mat. Control is the number one thing for the rollover. You're also not wanting to lift your head or create tension in the upper back or in the shoulders. So you're imprinting the back of your body onto the mat as you're doing this exercise. Now, the big rollover, you start with the legs long. You exhale to do exactly what you were doing in level 1 and level 2, using the lower abdominals to draw the tailbone off the floor, but this time the whole spine is lifted. The legs go overhead, you flex the feet, take the legs wide as you roll down with control, bring the legs back to the start position a little bit off the mat. You point the toes to lift the spine off the floor. Flex the feet when you're overhead. If you can get your toes to the ground, that'd be great. Then circle the legs around to the side and with control, lower the spine back down onto the mat. Now it's really important to not lift the head or the shoulders. You're using your arms to anchor yourself to the floor. You take the legs out wide, lower the spine down with control as you circle the legs around to the side. The second part to the rollover is a reverse. So at the bottom, you flex the feet, you take the legs wide, you reach overhead. When you're overhead, you bring the legs together, point the toes, and then roll the spine back down again with control. At the bottom, you flex the feet, legs go wide, spine gets lifted off the floor. You bring the legs together when they're overhead and point. And you just continue doing this, maintaining the control through the abdominal muscles. It's really important to understand that you're not just using momentum to get over, you're actually contracting the lower abs to pick the spine up off the floor, maintaining the length in the spine, working the arms to anchor yourself to the mat. Keep the breath flowing. Try not to hold your breath.